Hi everyone, this is Brian with International Security Training, and today we're going to be covering part 3 of 6 in regards to reducing local crime. And the focus today will be, as the title slide says, keeping the neighborhood clean. So why do we want to do this? It's pretty simple. Obviously, we can't eliminate crime from our neighborhoods, but we can definitely reduce it. No matter how bad it is, taking a proactive stance can help reduce crime in your neighborhood. So litter, abandoned cars, rundown buildings. What this tells the gang element and the criminal element is that we don't care about our neighborhood, we don't care where we live or for each other, for that matter. So we want to start doing little things, little tasks, and when these things compound, we'll start having a safer place to live. So where do we start? Well, first, we need to know what the boundaries of our neighborhood are. So make sure you and everyone in your volunteer group know what those boundaries are. And you create a little map, you draw a little thick line around it with a marker, and make sure everybody has a copy. And now we know what our neighborhood is in relation to our project. Then call the City Public Works Agency, whatever that is for you, and ask for ideas and guidance for your program. Let them know that you have a group of volunteers, and they would like to help clean up the neighborhood. But obviously, they want to do it within the within the regulations, the local guidelines and laws, but also they want some ideas if the agency has some. You might also find out that there's another group doing the same thing, and maybe you can partner up or at least not cover the same areas. So that way more work gets done in a shorter amount of time. Also, notify and involve everyone. Children, teenagers, senior citizens, go to churches, go to local schools. Everybody can take part in this, and you'll have a great result. There's also groups like the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts. When they start getting their kids into the leadership parts of their curriculum or their badge earning, they're going to have to start doing volunteer time and projects. And a great way to kind of serve both needs, help them and help you guys, is having them work in part of your cleanup project. Also, you can look for, there's two other teenage groups. One of them is called D-Molay. That's D-E-M-O-L-A-Y. That's a boys group similar to the Boy Scouts. And then you have Job's Daughters, which is similar to the Girl Scouts. And if you have a Freemason lodge in your area, you might have those two groups as well. So when you combine those groups with the churches and local schools, you should have a pretty good pool to find a few volunteers. Once you have those groups, you want to organize short cleanup events on the weekends. And by short, I mean a couple hours, just on a Saturday morning, let's say between 8 to 10. We have found that the shorter duration these events are, it increases participation. Now, obviously, if you have a decent-sized neighborhood, because you're only working 2 hours per day, the work gets put out a little bit. But we found out that this is a better way to get more people to your events. Plus, when you have a certain amount of people showing up in a certain part of town every Saturday morning, it gives you visibility, and people in the neighborhood start saying, you know what, this is a good group of people, and maybe we can have the same amount of pride in our neighborhood that they have. So give it a shot. Talk it over with your group and see if that works for you. Also contact a local government and insist that they maintain their parks and their public areas. Now, obviously, you want to do this politely. You don't want to start, going in there with an aggressive tone and negative manner and create arguments, because we want them on our side. I would bet dollars to donuts that if this is not being done in your neighborhood, the people in these local agencies, they're employees like you and I are, okay? They're probably overworked and underpaid. So go in there with that mentality that you know how busy they are, but you love and care about your neighborhood and you would like their help. Notify them immediately about any vandalism or damage that occurs in areas of their responsibility. So parks and public areas like that, ball fields. If you do that over a year's time, the whole, obviously just the way your neighborhood looks will change and improve. But the feeling that the neighbors will have and the people that live there will improve, pride will increase, and the crime will decrease. Why? Because what you've done is basically you're hardening the target. Okay, that's the term we use in the military and in the bodyguard world or the executive protection world. When you do this, you're going to be creating an environment where there's too much visibility, there's too many people milling around, and you know what? Criminals and gang members don't like to operate in those areas. They want to go work where there's, rundown areas, unkept shrubbery, so you got places to hide, buildings that are messed up and abandoned. That way they can do what they need to do as far as their, there goes in the little crime world are concerned. They need to do it under the cover of concealment or darkness. So hopefully that helps you a little bit and gives you some ideas. My name is Brian with International Security Training, and be safe.